You are going to learn an amazing strategy right now that will make a huge difference in helping you learn from a difficult book. The general principle involved is previewing, looking over a text before reading it. You will learn two main types of previewing. One is to figure out how a text is organized, its structure, and the other is to preview to find out what you will be learning from the text. For now, we're going to focus on previewing for structure. Your number one task in doing a skeleton is to discover the pattern of the text. It has a pattern. What is it? What structures are repeated over and over in this text? What has the author and publisher provided to help you learn from this text? Let's watch a reader do a skeleton of this text, City Upon a Hill. He is going to find out how this text is put together and what the authors and publishers have provided to help him learn from this text. He looks at the front matter. What is there? Notice how he puts a sticky tab on the table of contents page. He will refer to that page often to learn the structure. He sees an introductory chapter. He looks at the first chapter and he notices a picture, a title, and an abstract. He turns the page and sees a gigantic brown scripted letter and one paragraph. Perhaps this is the introduction to the chapter. As he thumbs through the chapter, he sees green headings with beige lines underneath. He flips back and sees that these are the same headings listed in the table of contents. He sees bolded words. Hey, these bolded words are also in the margins. Definitions, I bet. The visuals seem to be from across history and have rather long captions. Occasionally there are numbered subheadings under the big headings. They are smaller print and are italicized and brown. Now he's at the end of the chapter and sees key terms. He sees that they are the same as those that are bolded and in the margins. But when he flips back, he realizes that not all the terms in the margins are in the end of chapter list. Why not? Key people are listed, but only one person? There were more than that in the chapter. Then there are 6 questions listed and suggested readings. He keeps in mind the structure he just observed and now looks at chapter 2 to see if it follows the same pattern. Yes, he sees the exact same format on the first page: title, illustration, abstract. He turns the page. Sure enough, another big brown letter at the beginning of one paragraph. Same kind of green underlined headings. He sees Christopher Columbus probably will be listed as key people if the pattern holds. The margins have the bolded words, but also pictures of people and information about them. Was that the same in chapter 1? He checks it out. Yes, chapter 1 and 2 are the same there too. At the end, he sees a new feature, a timeline. Do you see that this reader is only looking at the structure, not the content of the chapter at all? He is trying to find the roadmap to help him through the text. Is this reader seeing the pattern of this text? Are you? Do the rest of the chapters fit this pattern with slight variations? He's going to spot check. He dips into later chapters to see if they are the same or different from the first 2 chapters. Some have more graphs and timelines than others. Some even have subheadings in black subsumed under the brown italicized headings. Some chapters have conclusions labeled that other chapters do not. But the basic format is apparent from the same beginnings and endings and the same headings and margin notes throughout each chapter. Now that our reader is convinced he has discovered the pattern, he looks at the end matter. What else do the authors provide to help him learn from this text? He discovers 3 appendices, such as the founding documents. And then there's a glossary, an index, and a list of figures which appear to be the sources or creators of those figures. It really helps, especially the first few times, to write down the skeleton. You can put it on a think sheet, in the front of your book, or on a separate sheet of paper to stick inside the book. After that, you won't need to write it down. It will be second nature to you, and you will probably never again approach a text by plowing through it, looking at word 1 and then word 2, and so on until you have finished. Here is the written skeleton of the history book. Notice that it is not typed, it is not perfect, it is messy, but I see the structure of the entire text on one page. There are other written examples in the handbook. Can you see how valuable this is for learning from a text? You know where everything is. You know how it is put together. You know what's coming. And you know how to navigate this text. If you are like me, a skeleton has the added bonus of getting me excited to read it. Skeleton motivates you to want to read the text. You can't help it. You are curious and you want to know. After doing a skeleton, you are now ready to learn from this text in a systematic way. But you aren't there yet. Watching someone ride a bicycle and reading about how to ride a bicycle are not the same as riding it yourself. So dig in, practice skeleton now on one of your own texts. And as you do, be thinking about the essential aspects of what a skeleton is, and why you are doing it, and when or under what conditions this would be an excellent strategy to use. Be metacognitively aware. Know what you are doing and why. Adapt as needed to see the structure of each text. You will benefit by doing a skeleton of any text you read. May this be so for you and fun too.